Forge Captain Kyle Becker and Mitch Houlihan bring you the Captain's Log on the Forge Audio Network.
Hey, sports fans, thanks for coming out. Captain's Log, Mitch Houlihan here, as always, with our Forge Captain. Number 10 in your program, Kyle Becker. The
number one
lads
in your
are coming up. Hey, number 10 in your hearts. The lads are coming off a roller coaster trip. We're going to be getting into Kyle's thoughts and feelings from a tough Atletico game in Ottawa. We'll be talking barbecue joints. We'll be talking Kyle's foolproof crap strategy to bankrupt a casino. First and foremost, an absolutely wild night in Hamilton Can-Champ history where Forge storms into Saputo, parks the bus right in front of the Dépanner, and brings all the beers back for the people of Ontario.
The Dépanner.
What do you think of that?
Couple steam A's. That is what an intro. That was good, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
That's it. How did you feel about old Wednesday night? Did you stay up? Did you make it through the...
Well, it was perfect because I was went out for dinner, and so I was like just expecting to miss the whole thing like an idiot, and then it never moved off of halftime. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So the delay was unreal, and then it's like, that was the best. That was those delays like that are my favorite thing ever. Game ends super late. I wanted you guys to go back on at like 1 a.m.
I honestly thought we were gearing up for something like that. There was so when we were going in for halftime, this I think it might have just started like spitting as like the half was ending or as we were walking in. Yeah. And the sky was just like pitch black. Like just like it got dark. Not just like nighttime dark, like it like the clouds were brewing.
Right.
But I obviously didn't think anything of it. And then we actually went out to start the second half, and we were almost onto the field. Montreal was on the field. We were like running out, and then they were just like, no, back inside. Like just all the refs came running, or not like running at us. They just like stopped us. We go back inside. Like got delayed. There was lightning. So that was kind of like an initial curveball. I didn't even see that coming. I thought someone was saying there was going to be thunderstorms throughout the day. And then it didn't even cross my mind that it was still on the old forecast. And then an absolute storm came through. Hamilton storm. Nailed it.
I was this is something I wanted to bring up also, because last week here, every time there's like a sprinkle, you get on storm. On storm is trending. People are posting like it's bullshit. It's the biggest.
What is on
like
storm?
Every time it rains, it's just like the hashtag for like a big storm in Ontario. On storm. I don't know.
Yeah, no, this one actually, this one lived up. There was all of a sudden, it was just like
a real storm.
It was like directly over the stadium. Someone just unloaded a couple trucks of water all at once and just poured down, and the lightning was giving it.
It looked wild.
Did you see some of the videos from the stadium?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the old squall coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. But the delay sucked.
I think a squall is snow.
I don't know about that.
A little rain squall?
Fact check. I think you could squall. You could get a wet squall, or you could get a snowy squall. We got the wet squall.
Yeah, we got the rain squall coming through.
Yeah. Dude, it was the delays are the worst. So the Forgers have actually had a couple. We had 2 interesting breaks in CONCACAF, both in El Salvador. First game, lights just turned off for some time. That felt strategic. I think we were up in that one, and then the old lights went out. Second one actually worked.
That's like the Super Bowl Beyonce conspiracy.
Yeah.
Turn the lights off.
Second one actually worked out for us. We started in the second leg. We actually played both away there. Like our home leg was in El Salvador, and then we played the away leg. And like midway through the first half, it just absolute thunder piss, lightning just like on top of the stadium. So we go in, and I believe it was 1-0 for the other team. We could have been down, having a shaky start.
Yeah.
And it was like a break similar to this. I think the Montreal one might have been longer, but it was like over an hour. And it was everything the boys needed to just regroup inside. And it's like, all right, calm down. But the best part is we go back out, and we actually had a corner at the time. So we started on a corner. And the ref calls me and the other captain over. He's like, lightning's gone. Don't worry. If we see any more, we'll have another break. The second we walked away, huge crack literally above this, like right above us. And I turned and looked at him. He was like, no, it's far away. We're good. Play. It's just like, all right, buddy. You got it. And then we had, I think Johnny Grant and Joshua Navarro both bagged that game, and we won 2-1. I believe it was 2-1. Could have been. Yeah, I think that was the score. Massive regret for the boys, but this one.
How long was this delay? How long were you guys in the room?
I think I heard someone say like an hour and a half, but I also heard someone say 2 hours.
I feel like it
2
must
hours
have been
from
at
like
least 2 hours.
It could have been like 2 hours from like the time the first one started, like not, or including halftime and all that maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tough. It's the worst part about all of it is you just get so many schmohawks running around being like, I know the rules. I know everything. This is what's happening. It's like,
oh, like if it gets called and everything.
Yeah. Like everyone's also like, oh, it's starting in 10 minutes. Get ready.
Yeah.
We're going in 10. And you're like, no, we're not. We're not. And so like, there's just panic stations all over the shop.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating. So you're like, you're up, you're down, you're you're getting ready, you're kicking your feet up because you don't want to do too much. And then it's just like it just kind of messes with it because you can't shut off. Yeah. But you also don't want to just be going the whole time and then be burnt out by the time you go again. But I'll tell you what, this one felt like I genuinely, all I thought was like, we're under 13 playing a tournament over a weekend. You're playing 7 games in a day. Yeah. Like the thought of playing that, warming up for that second half, by the time we got going, whoa, thank God we're playing on grass, buddy. These old bones, I don't know if it would have been able to go on turf. That would have been a tough go.
Yeah. The old, 2-hour wait for the finals, like at OSA, you just slamming a couple chocolate bars, sitting on the concrete floor for 2 hours.
Never came off. You're still playing 3v3 somewhere in a hallway. Like you've literally played soccer for 48 hours straight. Insane. Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought of too. And it's it's just ramping up for each game is the worst. You're just
I'm not a big fan of warm up on a good day, right. Let alone the third warm up by the time we started.
Are we sure that warm ups are necessary?
I think so. Someone was saying this the other day in training. Apparently, Pirlo in his book just absolutely goes in on strength coaches. Just says how much of a waste of time it is, and how much they just love themselves, and they like warm ups are all about them, and like they're just far too long. And I got to tell you, buddy, like obviously the older you get, you got to take care of your body, but there's nothing better than just walking outside and just ripping a ball as hard as you can, and just I'm good. Figure it out.
Yeah,
there's a balance. I think a lot of it honestly is mental.
Yeah, I think there is once you get the first beat of sweat, you're running better.
Yeah. Well, there's just days when you're just not going to have it, even if you had an hour warm up anyway. So it's just like rip the Band-Aid off and give her.
And honestly, if you're not rolling up,
I've had my fair share of those. So
if you're not rolling up to practice, put the boots on and just rip a shot right away. Like if you tear a hammy on that, you're just not supposed to be a soccer guy anyway. anyone who's able to not do that that's just impressive discipline too. Or they have a history of hamstrings.
Dude, I pride myself on that. I love walking out and just shooting a ball half field, start a warm up. I'll also never not I side with bold stance, Kyle. I'll side with Pirlo on this one.
Yeah.
Warm-ups suck. Honestly, he knows what he's talking about. He seemed to have a decent go of it.
So what else was happening in the room during that break?
Honestly, the boys were it was tough. So obviously, the longer it went on, you knew in the back of the mind, this is going to be a tough go of it. Because any way you sprinkle it, they're using this time to regroup. Like we came out, we kind of punched them in the mouth a little bit, followed our tactical plan incredibly well, and once it was 2-0, we also just kind of like dug in and we were disciplined enough to get to half, not conceding anything, which is massive. Like we were comfortable in a low block, but at the same time, that's not something we like drill into us daily. Like we're not a team that week in and week out is like, all right, you guys have the ball, we'll just sit in and just absorb pressure and just be like, yeah, we're fine with this. So in games like that, historically, funny enough, like you can see it against teams in the league for sure. Like when they just have spurts of the ball and spurts of possession, more often than not, we're like, this being critical on Forge, we are a little undisciplined and we just jump out, and it causes problems because we're just like, oh no, you guys can't have the ball, which is ridiculous. Because in any game, like any team is going to have moments in time where they have the bulk of the possession. That's totally normal. But for us getting to half, as I said, 2-0 down was huge, following that plan. And then this, like, dude, they're going to get the book thrown at them. They like, there's no denying they're in
the break could only like hurt you guys.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
And it did.
Yeah. That's why, that's why it was, that's why that second half was even more impressive though. Cause it was just like, everyone knows what's going to happen here.
And you know,
you did it. Honestly, the panel after, like the one soccer guys, Wheelsy was losing his mind after the game. He was so excited. It was awesome.
I haven't seen any of it. Was he liking it? Was he liking the defensive performance the boys put in?
He was just like, just stuttering and buttering over everything because he was just so excited and happy. And like Jordan too. I mean, all of them. It was they were just like real fired up. It was good. But yeah, that
I mean, from our side, it was sweet. And you know this. Obviously, we played together growing up, youth soccer in Oakville, and then people who have watched me throughout my career can attest to this. Defending is not something that Kyle Becker excels at. But there's something beautiful about the boys just digging in and being like, F it, we're going to absorb all of the pressure. Bend, don't break. Even like the biggest moment is once when Yama scored the header, he had that other knockdown where the side volley inside the box, and what a save by Chris Kalongo. Man of the match, like hands down. Like, give it to Kwesi, give it to Daniel, whatever you want for scoring those goals in the first half. We do not win that game without Chris.
Yeah.
He was
like
unbelievable.
Insane. That was insane. That save was
like reaction save, say whatever you like. It was unbelievable. That was massive. He had a punch later in the game too, where he came out and it was a sticky, like might have been penalty spot, might have been in between the 6 and the PK spot, but he punched it like 30 yards, and it was just like another pivotal one where it's like that drops down.
Yeah.
Who even knows what happens? But he came, he was brave, he did it, cleared the lines. And like that little stuff is just like there was a couple, like Malik's tackle, another one. That's like the 4th one of the year he's had.
Yeah.
Like block shots, Garv, Dom, who came on. Daniel was unbelievable. Alex was unbelievable. Just like guys just doing what they had to do to get it done. Unreal. And the worst part is like we were almost just like, there wasn't an option. Like I think everyone like inherently knew, but like when we start a half like that and we don't really connect the pass, like the frustrations that happen internally are like, they're hilarious. They're gold just because everyone's like, we're supposed to be in possession. And like, I'm the exact same, like I'm usually snapping, but it's like, guys, there's no energy to waste freaking out about this. Like shut up and run. It was unreal.
It was just, and it was the two halves were just like two completely different games. Both executed awesome. Yeah, it was just it was a wicked night. It was just really salt on Montreal's wounds right now, huh?
Yeah, it was
like the first half fan protests, and then like go down 2 to you guys, then the old rain. Like it was just it was not the best night for the old Montrealers.
Yeah, they're probably like, some of the guys are probably thinking like, what the hell else? Like, what do we have to do to get out of this one? So
honestly,
and
that was what, massive. the third time you guys have come up against them in this? Fourth,
I think.
I mean, you were due.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some great performances against them, but
Yeah.
they've been and they still are, like, they got just a ton of ballers on that team. They're just in a moment where like any team can be in it. They had success a few years ago, fell short, like a couple coaching changes. It makes sense. And it's just, that's how sports go sometimes, the ebbs and flows of it. And honestly, for us to come out on this side is massive, and I think it's I don't know. This is a big one for the club, and I hope everyone a part of it recognizes it for what it was. Both games, the game at home, the school game, the performance there, feeling a little hard done by the tie, and just that, not hard done by in that they didn't have chances and didn't deserve to come away with something too. It's just that I think we felt that we did enough, created enough, and let ourselves down. So to see this one out was huge for Chouanier to finally get one over on his brother, because he's had some unreal performances in these games, and I don't know, that one's got to be cool. Big bro getting one, which is nice.
Definitely. It was nice to see, what's his brother's name? Matthew?
Yeah.
It was nice to see him, get to watch him for a couple games too. He's good, man. How old is he?
Oh, he's very good. I think he's going to be going, I think he's a year and a half, maybe, younger than Dave. So 20.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to butcher this. 24, 25.
Was that his first game as a captain?
No, I think he's captained them before. He's been an absolute stalemate from these last couple of years. He's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, but he's been a constant. He's done unreal. I think he's getting a call to he's been called into the national team, rightfully so, a few times now, but I think he might be getting the nod for Copa America, which is huge. So hopefully for the Chouanier family, we can see him make a couple appearances on that stage, which would be special.
Yeah. Happy to cheer for him any other time.
Of course.
What do you think of the old new coach of the Canadian team?
Yeah.
No comment?
No, I think Jesse Mars is a big name, and I think he is someone who can kind of bring something different to this group, which is necessary with the weapons that we have across the board. I hope he has a ton of success. That'd be sharp, but there is something interesting about an American being named a head coach of Canada.
Yeah.
Not to get too deep into it, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, he's qualified. His CV's legit. Yeah. I'm interested in who his staff will be, but man, I hope he can get these guys firing again, because we have I'm a believer still. I think we have a wicked team, and it would be sick to see them have some success at this Copa America and then just keep pushing forward, because I just feel like we've been in a little bit of a funk since we made that World Cup appearance.
100%. But I don't know if it was just like good PR. Maybe they planned it. Maybe he intended to. But like coming in, everyone obviously like, how are we hiring an American dude? Then he just immediately comes in and talks shit about the American program. It's a good move for sure.
Yeah, you know how to get the people on your side. We're an easy group to please.
What else from that night in Montreal before we move into Ottawa?
Honestly, it was the delay kind of took the sting out of stuff. So the boys were just a little shattered. Everyone was happy. Everyone was kind of a little just like, all right, like just a lot of like tired, like nice, tired high fives.
Couple head nods.
It was just a little bit of, look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us, huh? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
We would have thought, but look at us.
Yeah. That was good. That was a good night. All right. Yeah. And then, so what happened? You guys went the next morning to Ottawa, or that night? Yeah, I guess probably not that night, huh?
Next afternoon. Stayed there. Had a little bit of a recovery, little session, then popped on the old bus, headed over to Ottawa Thursday.
For some barbecue.
For some BBQ. Shout out Lexington Smokehouse.
Yeah. What is this place?
I mean, I think you're rolling the dice anytime. Not to be like I'm a barbecue connoisseur, but I think you're rolling the dice anytime you go to a BBQ place in Canada. So I was pleasantly surprised with how good it was. Old Mino and Borges popped over, had a couple platters. I'll tell you what, once the food came out, there was not a lot of talking and there was a lot of heavy breathing after. A couple meat sweats for the boys. It was like we were just starving. And then we get in there and it was just like, old shout out Max Tissot for the shout out.
Oh yeah.
And he yeah, let us know and it did not disappoint.
Oh, this is it's in Westboro. Lexington
Yeah, it's a nice little spot. It was a good little spot.
It's on Richmond Road right there.
There it is. Old stomping grounds. Oh, guy, we trained at Old Carleton University. A house that Mitch built. That's what the people were saying when we walked in.
How's the turf doing?
Dog shit. Just seems like they just keep sprinkling some more little rubber pellets in there, but putting lipstick on a pig.
Always pretty heavy on the pellet there.
Heavy, yeah, real soft. It's like playing in quicksand. No, they got like
you should
they got
see
a nice
the
little paint job on the turf, but the turf could use maybe a rake or two.
You should see the turf in the field house there. It's just like it's literally hangar circa 2002.
That field house is sweet though. I remember that.
Yeah.
When did I pop in? What was that?
Oh yeah, came for a little field house session.
Came for a rip. Seeing what the lovely people at Carleton University were all about. What was the where did we go that night when
probably Tila Tequilas.
Is that actually what it's called?
Yeah, that was I don't know if that's where we went. That was certainly a place back in the day.
That definitely didn't age well.
Well, that's
sweet. I wonder what old Tila Tequila's up to.
I don't want to give you any bad news here, but I feel like
she dead?
Oh no. That's what I was thinking. No, she's not. We're good. Sorry about that. Yeah. But that's great.
Thank God.
Love the little Carleton Keith Harris Stadium shout out.
Is that what it's called?
Well, it's called Tag Park now, but it's it
dude,
will forever and always be.
Is
Keith
that like
Harris.
does Carleton have a sponsorship by like the watch? Because there's a couple banners around the field. The old Tag Cure. Is it actually that?
That's what Tag is? Yeah, I guess.
So.
I don't know. It's called Tag Park now, but yeah. So then
seems like a random sponsorship to be having for the old Carleton University field.
Yeah. Yesterday when we were at the old horse track,
shout out Woodbine,
getting a couple early season races in.
Yeah.
Not that we do that often, but anyways, Kevin, one of our buds, he was hand up, being an honest guy. Kind of worried that the Forgers were going to have a drop off in the Ottawa game after the excitement of Montreal, and it seemed to happen.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah,
we just didn't have it. Didn't have it. No denying it. Energy was low, boys. And there's even when we were 1-0 down, I think we still felt like we could create something, but we were just flat. It was just a day old half drank pop, just flat. No denying it. It's tough. Yeah. I mean, no excuses. We all like the room was not. I'll tell you what. It was not a nice bus trip back. The levels were down, but
she goes.
It's just it was dumb. Like created like we'd get into. I feel like we got into the final third and we were just missing that last little bit. Like that perfect example is we finally get something going. Diag over the top to old Danny. Danny, nice little clever flick over the defender to me. I try and take it down on my chest, and it's like the ball just like hangs up. And then rather than just doing what I should have done and just pulled the trigger and just ripped it, try and do a little cutesy cutback, just get cut out. And I think that was just more of I think that kind of sums up the whole day now.
Yeah.
Like I think Ottawa's a good team. Obviously, they're buzzing right now. They got a lot of momentum on their side. They're feeling good, but
Yep.
I think we're gonna owe them one for sure.
Yep. Love that. What are you hating on Canadian barbecue for? Is that a thing?
I'm not hating on it. I just when are you ever like, ooh, barbecue? Let's it's good. North of the wall.
I'll be honest, pretty much anytime I go to a barbecue place, I'm expecting it to be fantastic. But it's not usually.
Yeah.
I'm just an optimistic guy.
I just don't think we got the temp the weather to have like a smoker outside 24/7. That's like regulated doing all the business.
It's not as much of the culture for sure.
Yeah.
Ever heard of Alberta beef?
It's just not that Alberta beef. I'll tell you what, I've obviously spent some time in Alberta and I don't know.
Gorgeous?
I don't. There hasn't been a steak that's just knocked my socks off. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah,
everyone makes it seem like you could go to any restaurant. Oh, get a steak.
Right.
Oh, you don't even need anything else. Just get a steak. I'm just gonna get a fucking plain steak, salt and pepper, no sides, no nothing. And it's just I'm just gonna be talking about it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes to sell their own experience.
I mean,
sometimes you get a good one you like, but that's what you're talking
anyone
about.
Who's listening to this, you give us a shout out and tell us where we need to be going to get our steaks when we're in Alberta, and I will go the next time I'm there happily, and we'll give a review.
Nobody's listening to this, but hey, that's probably this is a good way
this,
to
you give us you pop on the old Yelp and just 5 stars, Alberta beef.
Maybe we'll get a couple of Calgary listeners after that Alberta
beef.
That was a tough sentence. I could not get through that. That was tricky.
What were you trying to say?
I don't know. I was saying maybe we'll get a few Cavalry fans listening after the Alberta beef shit talk, but it was just yeah. No, you went to the casino in Ottawa too?
Yeah, we popped in.
You learned how to play craps.
Yeah. Just want to see what all the hype was about. Tell you what.
But after you played, you still didn't know that inside and outside was a thing. So did you really play?
Oh, we played. There was a lot of pitter pattern. Just a lot of up and downs. Not really going on a run. Not really losing. Just existing. And I'll tell you what, the dealer was giving us absolutely nothing to work with. There was one other human being at the table, and me and Borges walk out. We're like, "Guy, we don't know how to play, but we like, can you teach us? Like, can you give us a rundown?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, how does it start?" And he literally just turned around. He's like, "Game started," but we were rolling the dice, so he like wasn't telling us how to bet, and we were just doing it. And he's like, "Yep, do it."
It was a real learning crazy environment. Yeah,
it was unreal. So we like slowly figured it out. The inside outside thing. It's doing some recon after old Lee Becker gave that insight, and still not certain. But
isn't that?
It seems like you can get on a. Yeah, we were throwing the dice. Like I think there was one round, and this is the crazy part. There was this other guy. Not assuming anything, but he had the greatest craps form I've ever seen in my entire life. He had like a little routine, like he was on the free throw line and he did it every single time. Didn't really get on a roll, but then we started rolling. Guy, we had a 20 plus heater without rolling a 7. And from what we're talking about, this inside outside thing after the fact, like we should have been up all of the money in the world, and we were just playing small potatoes. Yeah, like we were still hitting stuff, but it was just like we were playing the pass line. It just wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't It wasn't a well-oiled machine. But
you didn't take advantage of that 20 roll heater.
Yeah, there got multiple rolls. We went over like 15 without a 7.
Wow.
So the other
I
guy, he literally was
that's
like,
good.
he just kept every time I'd roll, he'd look at me.
You guys are making no money.
like, we're
Giving you the
we're
thumb-
sitting here for
no,
breadcrumbs. This guy's gonna buy a goddamn Tesla.
no advice or anything. Just like, yep,
No,
keep
he
it up,
just-
boys.
Literally, the amount of times we're like, guy, what do we do? And he just kept keep doing what you're doing. Just kept giving us these like double thumbs up. It was crazy. Old thumbs up Tommy just telling us, yep, hey, yep. And then he just kept being like, there's one point, like 4 times in a row, he just goes, craps, best game in the casino. We're like, so how much did you win, buddy? Let us know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
it
see
was
you at the bar.
and then hand up, we probably should have just followed what he was doing after the fact. Like he was clearly on a heater. But
Yeah.
the comms at the table were down.
I definitely. It's tricky because it switches whenever a 7 or 11's rolled, right? That's like the inside.
just restarts
on,
the
off,
game.
whatever. Like,
Yeah, but
No,
in that time, you can go on an absolute tear because you
Right.
only
Yeah, yeah,
lose. Like even if you miss, you're not losing as long as it's not a 7. I mean,
All your
unless you're the
stuff stays- yeah,
asshole
yeah.
at the table who's betting on the 7 like a jabroni. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, so we're gonna need a couple craps professionals to give us some pointers for the next time.
Yeah. Isn't it
Yeah, it's
crazy
good.
how much of the casino is just like not real life?
All of it.
There's no
All of it
more
is.
like no, but it's all the digital like tables and everything.
Oh yeah.
Like there's not even any
stinks.
dealers anymore. It's all just
It's
pure.
not even fun.
It's just open AI taking your money.
I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I'm a big casino guy, but the whole like what you expect from like TV and the movies and just like people who go to the casino and talk about it like it was the greatest thing ever, and then you pull up and you're like, this stinks.
Yeah.
Like even the craps, it was like I'm picturing a craps table with like 40 people around it. Everyone's just losing their minds. Anything you roll, as long as it's not a 7. It's just
Yeah.
me, Borges, and some jabroni giving us a thumbs up for an hour.
An hour is like probably as long as I can keep my attention there too.
Yeah,
People who do
'cause
like the
it's-
marathon casino sessions, I don't know. It's just not that
I
fun.
guess if you just go on an absolute heater and you win some money, seems like the greatest place ever. Losing is so
Yeah, that's probably no,
crap.
that's for sure fun.
yeah. Like winning is sweet.
Yeah.
It keeps you coming back. It's literally one of those. You're like, that was the easiest thing ever. Wanted to do this every day.
Yeah.
Gets you. The old double-edged sword, huh?
Double-edged sword. All right. So that was the Ottawa trip. We're back. What's happening next? What's going on this week?
Oh, here we go. I got something for you.
What?
Shout out the battalion. The battalion's cooking something up, and I want to give a little shout out. Anyone listening who might want to get involved.
Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna read the message.
Just
not
read.
my words, just passing it on. June 8th, join us, the Barton Street Battalion, for a special viewing party presented by Mill Street Brewing Co. at Wingporium on June 8th. Everyone is welcome to attend. There's a banner painting. Bring the kids. If you have an idea, get crazy. Come show us what you're all about. Do it. That's not the words. I just went with that one. There's a raffle. They'll be holding some raffle prizes, including a 56-inch TV, Forge-related prizes. All money raised will go towards future events, banner making, and other battalion initiatives. Painting will start at 11 a.m. in the parking lot at Wingporium. Mill Street pre-match party starts at 2 p.m., 4:15 at Wingporium. There'll be a special unveiling for the Barton, as well as a new battalion discount. 5 p.m. kickoff for the Forge versus Calgary. And raffle tickets will be sold from 2 p.m. until the 85th minute of the match. Get involved. Nailed it. I can't breathe. Reading is tough.
All right. Thanks for listening.
This was The Captain's Log with Kyle Becker and Mitch Houlihan. The guys will drop another episode sometime, whenever they get to it. In the meantime, we would love and appreciate for you to like, follow, subscribe, click on the little bell, do all the things in all the places you get entertained, and you'll find more of this type of content. And that also means we get to spend more time together on the Forge Audio Network.